What's up guys, Christian Skies here, and we are back with episode 3 of Kerbal Space Program. But I've made a few changes. So, I realized that these battery packs are really heavy, and we're adding weight, and keeping our parts too high, and we needed to remove some of the signs. So we removed 2 of the goo canisters and both of the battery packs, and replaced them with some winglets to hopefully make this trip a lot smoother. I also limited the thrust on these to 65 to kind of lower our thrust to weight so we're not wasting fuel trying to break through the atmosphere. So hopefully this craft will work a lot better now and won't give us flipping problems. So I'm going to go ahead and head to the launch pad. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and fast forward until we're up in orbit, and then we'll head on our Mun mission from there. So I will go ahead and fast forward, and I will see y'all in just a second. Okay, and we are circularized, and we are running really low on fuel. This craft is really hard to control in the atmosphere. Our fuel supplies are really short. So if you have the funding and you're doing other contracts, I would suggest going ahead and upgrading that part count so you can build a larger ship instead of limiting yourself like I'm doing here. So I'm hoping we can get to the moon. To the Mun. That is the goal. So we're going to go ahead and set this as our target. And then we're going to, let's see what the cheapest burn is. I think, alright, we want to make sure we're burning as cheaply as possible. This is a fairly cheap burn. We just want to make sure we're not being ejected from the atmosphere, from Kerbin's sphere of influence. So let's focus this view. I think that's as close as we're going to be able to get on our first flyby. Yeah, because this is looking like an 847 meters per second burn. And we do not have that much fuel, and we also still have to burn into the atmosphere. So I think we're going to go ahead and accept that. Let's reset our view to Kerbin. Actually, yeah, I want to reset to Kerbin. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and warp ahead a bit. Kind of fly around the planet. We're not super high up right now, so we're only getting to go about half speed when we're warping. We want to hit this maneuver node about... So we want to start burning at about 21 seconds. Okay, and I don't want to miss it, so let's get ready to burn prograde. I'll straighten that out. We're going to go ahead and face this. And then fast forward a bit to about 21 seconds. I don't want to miss it because I'm trying to save as much fuel as possible. 3, 2, 1, burn. So, alright, I think we're going to have just enough fuel to do this flyby. And then once we get some money, I'm going to upgrade the VAB. And then we won't have to worry so much about parts and all that. Cutting corners on cost. So now we'll go ahead and lock to prograde. Actually, no, we're going to keep on the maneuver. Okay. Now as we get closer, I'm going to start slowing down this. We're going to focus view and kind of slowly bring this in. There we go. Maneuver node complete. And now this is going to put our new trajectory here. And I think we're plenty high enough, and we have plenty delta V to bring that back down to a reasonable level. So we are now on a trajectory to the Mun, and we're going to go ahead and fast forward to about here. Coming in. There we go. We can kind of see Kerbin flying away and the Mun coming up closer. And what we'll do is we'll take some science pretty high. Oh, this is going to give us a second encounter? Huh. We'll make sure we fix that. So, we'll go ahead and take some science here, see what's going on. High over the Mun. Good stuff. Take this data. Good stuff. We'll go ahead and take this as well. Goo canister. And this is wanting us to transmit some data. So we're going to extend this antenna and transmit our crew report. Do that. We're pretty low on power, but that's not a big deal. We'll do a EVA report. Grab that, and then we'll go ahead and grab this science. Oh. I'm going to stop physics. Oh, I can't. So we're going to RCS here. Now this is going to be kind of scary, so I'm going to go ahead and quick save. I forgot what the quick save button is. I'll figure that out. So here we go. We're going to let go, RCS on, and EVA over here to grab some science. We're going to take the data from here, take the data from here. We're going to observe this. Oh, can't do that. Oh, and I'm going to take the goo as well. Collect. Since we're not going to be able to do that again anyway, then we'll go ahead and grab this board. Observe this. Great. And then we'll get a little closer to the Mun before I take any more science. So we'll go here. There we go. And I think it's going to be the same thing. So, but we'll go ahead and check. Oh, okay, we got some more. We'll take another crew report. Oh, not going to do anything. Do another EVA. See if there's anything new here. And then we're going to let go, RCS, to grab the materials bay. we're going to collect that data. Take that. Take that. Then we're going to reboard here. Let's see. Yes. All right. So this has been our Mun Flyby. And now we're just going to make sure we get back to Kerbin safely. So this is really just our knowing we can get here on 30 parts. I think this is the first time I've done that. I think usually I upgrade the VAB before I do a Mun mission. Just so I can have a nice lander. But this was fun, kind of limiting myself, and we're really short on fuel here. I probably could have built a better craft, but it worked out all the same. So we're going to turn on SAS once we get up here. We're really low on electric charge, which worries me a little bit. But I think we're going to be okay. So we're going to lock to Kerbin. And what we need to do is turn retrograde. Oof. And burn. There we go. Okay. We have plenty of fuel left. If we probably could have gotten a little closer to the Mun off that, but I was not sure how easy it was going to be to get back. But now that we know that we definitely can and are definitely going to, this is going to be just fine. So the reason why I put the periapsis not straight into the ground is I want to make re-entry as easy as possible. I don't want to come in too sharply and just burn up and come in too quick. So we're going to do that instead. And in fact, we have some fuel that I'll just burn off to slow us down a little more coming in. So we'll go ahead and retract this. And we got everything taken care of. And now we'll just speed up until we get a little closer. So we'll go ahead and warp here. There we go. Getting really close. We're going to speed up till we're about 70 kilometers. Ooh, I missed it just a little bit. But we're still in the vacuum. And we're coming in pretty hot. Pretty hot indeed. At 3,000 meters per second. I'm going to go ahead and kill off some of this velocity. That way we're not burning up too much. Alright, now we'll ditch that. We collected everything off this, so before you ditch that, you want to make sure you've collected all your science from it and brought it back into your capsule, which we have done. And now we're just going to make sure we stay pointing retrograde as we come in, and we're coming in at a great angle, so we're going to bleed off a lot of speed. We shouldn't have to worry about that. We're not going to be anywhere near the KSC. I guess I could have circularized a little better and given us a chance to land at the KSC, but it wasn't a big deal here. I wasn't sure when I was coming back what our fuel was going to be. So we're just watching the fire show right now. Coming in. As we watch our apoapsis come down. Which, funny enough, we're not going to land at the KSC. We're on the other side of the planet. We can probably go ahead and speed this up a little bit as we come down. Burning off more and more speed. There we go. And we're now locked to surface. Our antenna is blasting off some heat. This thing is really taking the fire. We're going to continue to come in at this angle. Take a drink of water. And now we're going to start hitting heavier and heavier atmosphere and slowing down significantly. Yep, there we go. What's our heat shield at? Oh, not too bad. Yeah, the heat shields have a lot that they can withstand. They can take a beating. I mean, they do have their limits, but they're pretty high limits. We're still cutting off some speed, coming into thicker atmosphere. I'll go ahead and speed it up some more. Burning off some more speed. And we are through that. Alright. And once we get down to 300 meters per second, I'll go ahead and pull our chutes. There we go. What did our heat shield end up at? Not even half. We could have come in pretty sharp and we would have been fine. Go ahead and speed this up. We're going to land in the desert here at nighttime. It's ideal to land at the KSC just so you can recover the majority of your parts and you get the most money. But when you're doing these really far missions and you're getting a lot of funds anyway, or you're just recovering the command module, it's not too important to land there, but it's always nice to do that. And now we're just coming in pretty slow, getting ready to land, and we are almost there. All right, successful Mun Flyby, I would say. We've already taken all of our science, so we'll go ahead and recover and see how much we got. $138 just for a flyby, and we can still head back and take even more science from the different locations as we get closer to the Mun and prepare for an actual landing. So this is some good data right here. And we have 704,000 funds. That is exactly what we want to see. Let's check our contracts first. Ooh, we have some rescue missions. That's fun. Return to Kerbin from orbit of the Mun. That is definitely what we're doing next. Let's see, what else do we have? Tons of fun stuff. Oh, we have a suborbital contract. We'll go ahead and take that. Let's see. The suborbital tourist contracts are really easy to do. Don't require much to them. Sweet. So we'll continue to take some of these contracts. Let's see what we can do. An orbital contract. This pays pretty well. This, ooh, that's a little bit tougher one. We'll have to build a craft that can sustain tourists to the Mun. So we'll go back. We definitely need to upgrade the VAB. So we can go ahead and drop these funds on that. And we still have plenty. And now we'll check our science. So, what do we want to do? We're getting into our deeper tech tree, or mid-tech tree. So, I definitely want to do some cool shuttle stuff, but that's going to have to come at a later date. I think these bottom and top techs are a little bit more important at first. And now, unless you love the aviation at first, I'm not very good at it, so that's why I tend to go for the top and bottom. But if you're good at the aviation and building planes, this is really fun to work with, and you can do some really creative stuff with it, which we're going to do just a little bit later. So for now, we just have to decide whether we want the heavier rocketry, which really requires two things to do anything with. So we would need, we'll either need this one. I love the landers you can build with this set right here. This is really useful for building landers. So we can do that and then grab one of these techs, or we can grab both of the fuel systems and these parts. So I think this isn't really necessary right now. Electrics is really useful. Lots to think about here. And this is somewhat situational for what you need. So if you are not as good with fuel and you need larger rockets, then you can definitely go with the fuel systems and the heavy rocketry and build you some better rockets right off the bat. If you're fine with this lower tech, if this tech works perfectly for you and you're not having any problems with it, then you can go ahead and get electrics and maybe propulsion, and that'll do you just fine as well. So, for me, what are we wanting to do here? I think we might benefit more from the rocketry. For sure. So we can get, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get the heavier rocketry. Then we'll move on to some of this stuff. So we'll get flight control and then move on to landing and go through some of this tech tree, unmanned stuff, before we go any farther up here. I'm really conflicted on that. So much to do. So much to think about. I know y'all are probably yelling at me right now. Get this, get this. What are you doing? It's not that big of a deal. You can always just go grab some more science. I'm probably taking it a little too seriously. So, I think we're going to go ahead and grab the fuel systems and heavy rocketry. And that way, I messed up. I would have much rather get the, that's what we missed. Darn. I wanted advanced construction, but we can go ahead and get that on our next mission. Yeah, we can go ahead and get that on our next mission. So, this has been a little bit shorter of an episode. I uploaded the first 2 episodes pretty much back to back. That way, anybody who watched it first would be able to go ahead and watch a second episode. And I might do the same for this episode, just because this one was a little shorter. But no matter. Let's go ahead and skip to daytime, so you're not looking at just a dark screen. There we go. So thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to start building some heavier craft, getting even more science, and getting ready to send a network of satellites around the Kerbin system. So, thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next episode.